Love's Bloom by Judith Keim. Narrated by Dawe. Chapter 1. Misty Owens sat with several of her friends at the table usually reserved for locals in Jake's Bar and Grill on Main Street in Lilac Lake, New Hampshire. She was pleased to have their company. Since moving back to her small hometown following a disastrous relationship with an emotionally and physically abusive man who still troubled her dreams, she needed to feel connected to good people who truly cared about one another. Of all the men who sat at the table that evening, she was attracted to David Graham, who owned a successful landscaping business with his father. Gentle, kind, and handsome, he was everything she wanted in a man, if only she could get through her past issues. She warmed under David's friendly smile and knew he was interested in her. But how would she ever be able to explain to him what had gone on in the past and how it had affected her? Many in town had seen her bruises and heard her tale of running away from her apartment in Florida to the safety of her home. But not many knew she still struggled with the aftermath of Vince Tucci's abuse of her. That was an issue that would take time to get over, as would learning to trust a man again. As Misty munched on her chicken Caesar salad, she studied the men and women sitting around her and listened as they caught up with one another's daily activities. She glanced at her sister, Crystal, who'd recently sold the Lilac Lake Cafe to a couple of Melissa Hendrickson's friends from Boston. As the town was growing and members of their group were pairing off, many changes were taking place. Tomorrow, she'd move into the cabin she'd rented by the river flowing outside of town. It was the beginning of a whole new life. A happy one, she hoped. The next morning, Misty sat on the living room couch in the cabin and stared at the pile of boxes in the middle of the room. David and his friend Aaron Collister had moved the furniture and heavy items into the one-bedroom cabin. Now all she had to do was unpack the boxes. She leaned back against the couch cushions and sighed. This change was very important. In part, it meant having independence from her big...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?